Welcome to the Embracing Neurodiversity podcast, where I share my journey of embracing the experience of my amazing son who is on the spectrum. I am Ivory, a mother, educator, and personal growth enthusiast. My goal is to offer insight and stories that may inspire you on your own parenting journey. Thank you for tuning in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Embracing Neurodiversity podcast. I finally caught time to record an actual video, which I'm excited about. Hopefully, we can continue this journey. I want to obviously welcome you back. Thank you for tuning in. As usual, you all probably noticed that we wrapped up our State of Special Education series. If you have not been able to check that out, please go back and listen to it. It's so pertinent right now, especially with it being under attack. But we're going to move forward with a new series. I wanted to revisit the unconscious parenting book that we were exploring a couple of weeks ago. We transitioned into some other content, but I want to loop back around and talk about it. I'll pick up a book, start it, and go back to it a month later. That's what I've been doing with Dr. Shefali's Conscious Parenting book. I also wanted to infuse it with my Transformative Parent Playbook for parents raising neurodiverse children. I want to take a new approach, infusing both the concepts from the Conscious Parenting book and highlight how it aligns to the Transformative Parent Playbook that I designed and the lived experience of parents, neurodiverse children on the autism spectrum. This is the first episode of the series, Conscious Parenting Through a Neurodiversity Lens. We will see how that works out. I am looking forward to diving into this because I am one of those people who are highly into personal development and what it means to be aware and mindful of your actions as it relates to parenting. This series blends insights from The Conscious Parent by Dr. Shefali with my own work, the Transformative Parent Playbook. Together, we will explore how raising neurodiverse children offers not just a parenting journey, but a spiritual and emotional awakening. Today's episode, I think I'm going to call it Life is Wise. Trusting the neurodiverse journey is going to focus on this particular question. What if life, including all the challenges, differences, and detours of raising a neurodiverse child, wasn't happening to you, but for you? We're going to explore that deeper in this series and in today's episode. In chapter 6 of Dr. Shefali's The Conscious Parenting book, she writes that when you experience everything as a potential teacher, you embrace anything life sends your way. As parents of neurodiverse children, we are handed experiences that don't fit the script. Missed milestones, school battles, public meltdowns, misdiagnosis, or the heartache of being misunderstood and the heartache of experiencing your child being misunderstood, right? I remember when my son was first diagnosed with autism and I asked, why us? What did I miss? Did I do something wrong? This is a common question that a lot of parents ask themselves. I began to learn to ask a different question. What is this experience here to teach me? That shift turned pain into purpose. I'm not going to pretend there aren't hard days and grieving moments. They are part of the process and the journey. I don't expect them to dissipate. Being mindful and aware of them is essential on the journey. When we stop labeling situations as bad or unfair and start asking what wisdom is embedded here, we become more open, compassionate, conscious. In my Transformative Parent Playbook, I wrote that discovery begins not with answers, but with the courage to observe without judgment. Observe your child, the world around them. Observe yourself in response to your child. Observe others in response to your child without judgment first. I always say that if you don't know what to do in the moment, it's okay to do nothing. That discovery includes, probably most importantly, observing ourselves too. Neurodiverse parents Neurodiverse parenting requires us to surrender our timeline. Surrender is essential on this journey. While other parents may be talking about reading levels and extracurricular activities, you may be focused on communication, sensory tools, or just getting through a grocery store visit without a meltdown. And that is okay. That is your reality, and that is okay. Find people who have that same lived experience and align yourselves. Dr. Shefali reminds us that we suffer when we label experiences as good or bad. Instead, we can learn to simply allow them to be. Your child is not behind. They are not broken. They are becoming in their own time, in their own way. When we trust the path our children are on, we reduce the pressure, and when we stop rushing them into versions not rooted in their truth, we reduce pressure and comparison that robs us of joy. What if your child's sensory sensitivity is teaching you to slow down, listen deeper, and build environments of safety and care? What if their resistance to conformity is reminding you that authenticity matters more than approval? Trusting the journey means embracing it all, not just the moments that look successful on paper. One of the most powerful truths from the Conscious Parent book that Dr. Shefali writes is that parenting mirrors our unhealed stories. When your child doesn't listen, do you feel invisible? Do you feel ashamed or out of control? When they struggle, these are real questions we must answer honestly. This is where parenting becomes a spiritual teacher. Your child is not causing your wounds, they are revealing them, and that is sacred. Before we lead, we must look inward. And that is the hardest work. Most people prefer to point the finger and look outward. Parenting is not about control, it's about evolution. The more we reflect, the less we react. If your child's differences bring fear, grief, or guilt, you are being invited into deeper growth. Explore those feelings. Why are they coming up? One of the hardest things for many parents is releasing the fantasy who we thought our child would be. Milestones with ease, mainstream classrooms, or spontaneous hugs. Maybe those are things that you expected or imagined would happen automatically. Maybe your child is silent and you get mostly silence. My child is semi-verbal. Most times he prefers to be silent. And I had to adjust to that. I had to unpack the script I told myself. Our scripts can keep us in a cycle of disappointment. Maybe you have a child whose needs and expressions feel unfamiliar. Life is wise. You were matched with this child for a reason. They are here to lead you into truth, love, and radical acceptance. What if you embrace this version of your parenting journey with open arms? What if you said, this isn't what I expected, but it is what I needed to become more whole? That's certainly my truth. I want us to close out the first episode with some reflection. What would it look like if you trust your child's path exactly as it is? Where can you release control and open to curiosity? I'm telling you, sitting and observing your child and the world that they live in can bring a lot of peace if you allow. And lastly, how might this journey be growing you in ways that you never imagined? For me, it has allowed me to surrender, trust the process, and be unapologetically myself. Khalil inspires me to do that because he is unapologetically himself and does not conform. Raising a neurodiverse child is not a detour from the parenting path. It is a path of its own, a sacred, soul expanding path. As we walk it together, remember you are not alone. You are not doing it wrong. You are becoming the parent your child needs moment by moment, taking moment by moment, minute by second by second sometimes, especially when it comes to those meltdowns. I want to thank you for tuning in, supporting, sharing, and commenting. I hope this is helpful to you. In our next episode, we will explore what it means to parent with presence and not reactivity. Until then, stay rooted in your grace and be guided by love and anchored in trust. And as always, take care of yourself. Bye.